Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the table. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action. BetUS, where the game begins.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It is your boy, Darion of the Darion Hopkins Show. Today is Monday, June 19th, a.k.a. Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there on the Darion Hopkins Show. RC is up in the building. Intentional Brown is up in the building. We are here for another episode of the Darion Hopkins Show. We should be having some special guests on here for the show. But we should have my guy from No Mercy Sports is definitely in the building. I'm gonna try to send him the link again to make sure I sent him the right link. So let me see if I can do that real quick before we get into anything. But make sure y'all hit that like button and make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, which is the YouTube channel. Actually I changed it. It's called the Darion Hopkins Sports Show now. Darion Hopkins Sports Show, because if I put Darion Hopkins Show in, I saw the algorithm of how thing was, but it doesn't have the word sports in it. It doesn't really show up as much. Shout out to Anthony Price. He's definitely in the building as well. But we have a few things that we're going to talk about today when it comes to the Chris Paul situation, him getting traded to the Washington Wizards, where he might end up if the Wizards doesn't keep him. The whole breakdown of the Bradley Beal trade. We're going to get talk about the Phoenix Suns, what this teams look like. And then I got my guy from No Mercy Sports coming in real soon. Hopefully the rest of my co-hosts are coming up in here. And I don't know why Bug is always calm down. I don't want to bring you up when you calm down, brother. They like you when you're not calm down all the time. So I'm waiting on him to cam up before I bring him up here, because we do want to talk about this these NBA trades and a lot of things going on. NBA draft is this week, ladies and gentlemen. The NBA draft is this week. We will be going live Thursday for the NBA draft. That's going to be very interesting to watch. But before we get into all the shows, man, before we get into everything topic-wise, make sure you go to SeatGeek.com for all your sports live events, your concerts, everything of that nature. Make sure you go to SeatGeek.com and use the promo code DHopkins and get $20 off your first purchase. Make sure you do that. The Darion Hopkins Sports Show is live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. So make sure y'all go over there, and y'all see at the bottom with all of the handles: Instagram at DHopkins Show, Facebook at DHopkins Show, and Twitter at DHopkins Show. So with that being said, my guest is in the building. And my co-host is here, but he's not cammed up. But I'm gonna bring him up anyway. I'm gonna bring him up anyway. But I have my guy from No Mercy Sports. I think your name is James, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw it on the email. But I got my guy from No Mercy Sports here with me today. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
It's awesome, to finally get to talk some sports with you, talk about this NBA and everything of that nature. And my co-host is finally here now, and he's finally cammed up, and I'm gonna put myself in the middle here. And look, what's going on, man? What's up with you?
How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing this morning? I'm all right. I'm a little, might got a little cold, but we here.
Not just a little cold, You gonna be fine, man. You gonna be great. You gonna be good. But let's get straight into it. We heard yesterday over the weekend about Bradley Beal going to the Phoenix Suns. And I want to talk about a lot of this in itself because I like it, but it's some things like I have to question about it. Now, according to No Mercy Sports, we talked about it in the comments, stating that this might be the best team in the West. They might be the best team to knock off the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. So I've definitely, especially want to hear your personal intake since you're on here now about all that went down with them getting Bradley Beal. So let me know what you think, bro. Let me know what you think.
Well, right now, honestly, I see it more like, when a team acquires LeBron James, like, yeah, the Suns really don't have much depth, but they're really trying to build right now to win a championship as fast as they possibly can right now.
So you thinking with this team that it's possible that they can knock off the Denver Nuggets with the team that they have right now, even though DeAndre Ayton is going to be probably still be traded.
Yeah, I mean, I really think they could. I mean, you got one of the best big men to, ever grace the court being, what's his name? Kevin Durant. If you put him on somebody like Jokic, be an interesting show.
Okay. Well, what's your thoughts on all this whole trade thing here? Because even though we waiting for Mac, because Mac is a Wizards fan, I definitely want to get his intake from him. So Mac will be on here soon. But for you, knowing that you saw the trade go down, what was your initial thoughts on it?
For Phoenix, kind of like you said, they're building they're like in a win now situation. To me, that's how they plan it. Like they're trying to win now. So. At the end of the day, I was looking when I was watching it earlier and Woj was talking about it. I think this is the first time the Suns have had 3 players on the court that averaged 20 points since like 1987 or some crazy.
It was 89 to be exact.
Yeah. So, like you said, when you're talking about a team like the Denver Nuggets, okay, you got Bradley Beal. What would y'all say about Devin Booker's defense? Before I say anything, you think Devin Booker can play some defense?
You better.
I think he's an average.
I think he can to an extent, but I don't think he's an elite defender,
But I feel like when you add a player like Bradley Beal at the point guard position, who's going to give you a little bit more athleticism than Chris Paul, of course, being old. He's going to play both ways. He's not, they don't really have to worry about the dirty fouls, him getting ejected, none of that type stuff. You got KD coming in there, doing what he do. He's going to rebound the ball. He's going to get some shots up. You got Devin Booker, who just came late in the season, but Devin Booker's gonna be Devin Booker. I just think it's gonna depend on whatever they do with the big man situation. Like I don't know if A's gonna step up next year or they're gonna pick up somebody else. Like it's just a big man situation. But I think going against it, they could beat the Nuggets because who's gonna guard all 3 of them? You gonna put Bruce Brown on who now? Like you get what I'm saying? You're gonna put Aaron Gordon on. You're gonna put him on KD. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like it'll be a lot.
But that's the question too, because Bruce Brown is a free agent, so he's definitely a lot of teams is going to be looking at him to try to get the bag somewhere else. And I don't think Denver is going to give him the bag, knowing what their core that they have in a starting 5. So Bruce Brown might be out in Denver. It's a possibility.
Sorry, man. He really stepped up in the finals to really show that he kind of deserved the bag too. He was that guy that Miami couldn't even shut down, especially with like you were saying last week, Christian Braun, not Brown. Kid better be German with that kind of name.
I don't understand it. Yeah, so he might deserve that. He might deserve that bag for me. I'm like I told Bug many a times that I'm not a big fan of Bruce Brown.
I feel like he's gonna stay in Denver. I feel like Malone gave him a chance. Like he never was a bad player, but Malone just allowed him to kind of expand on his game. If you get what I'm saying, like you got to see more offense from him. You got to see. That's why I just think he's gonna stay at Denver because he's been at teams playing that same role he's playing now, doing the same things. It just worked way better and looked way better in that system.
Well, we just have to see about that because the NBA is all about the bag. It's all about getting the bag.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of championship teams don't stay together after like that first or second year anyway. After they win their first championship, It's really hard to keep, the core around. Like, it's not like the NFL where you can make moves and you still could be fine with 53 players when you got like 12, 13 in the NBA. So you gotta make some sacrifices there. So
yeah, absolutely.
So for me, me personally, I like the trade for Phoenix than I like it for the Wizards. And I like it for the Suns in an extent. Yeah, you have a Devin Booker, you have Kevin Durant, you have Cameron Payne, you got, now you got Bradley Beal. We don't know what DeAndre Ayton is going to stay or not, but now you lose a shooter in Landry Shamet that came off the bench. That's going to concern me as far as they bench play. I don't know what they're going to do with Torrey Craig in that rotation either. I'm not really a big fan of Torrey Craig, but now you got for I don't know how many years, but you got to pay $50 million guaranteed, almost over $50 million guaranteed to KD, over $50 million guaranteed to Devin Booker, almost $50 million guaranteed to Bradley Beal. So if you're going to go and try to build a bench around the Phoenix Suns, it's going to be hard to, because now you got to find players that's good, but try to get them at the minimum.
Yeah, you're going to have to get them for like a dirt cheap price.
A dirt cheap price, or you try to trade back in the NBA draft, and so you don't have to go get somebody really high, so you have to pay them that money. It's not like the NFL where you're a top 5 pick and you guarantee a big contract. But still in the NBA, they feel like, oh, I'm a top 10 pick. I'm going to want some kind of money here. Right. So with that being said, we have my boy Matt Campbell in the building to have this conversation with us.
You good, Matt? What's up?
So what's going on, sir? How you feeling today? Because I know you was really, really pissed off.
I'm pissed off. That shit don't make no fucking sense. Bro, they should have kept Bradley motherfucking Beal. Ain't no reason to give that man that much fucking power in a goddamn trade, man. Fuck him. Fuck Bradley Beal. Fuck the Suns. I hope all them cocksuckers get hurt and pop fucking Achilles tendons. I hope this trade does nothing for the motherfucking Phoenix Suns. I hope Bradley Beal sitting on a goddamn bench somewhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, fuck all.
So you're hoping the entire Suns roster steps on a Lego.
Yeah. Like the fuck, man. And it is like the front office. I thought, oh man, these people were gonna change the momentum. They was gonna change shit. Like, I understand if you rebuild, you have to get pieces back. You have to get something to recoup a 3-time All-Star. Mm-hmm. And you get nothing. You get some second-round picks, which you're gonna get another second-round pick for CP3 if we don't wind up just fucking waiving him. Shamet, we're gonna get nothing for Shamet. We might as well just fucking cut his ass and waive him too.
But Matt, I got some. This might make you a little bit happy. I don't know if you're a big fan of Draymond Green, but he did decline his 5th-year option just now.
Oh, what, to come to play with the Wizards?
I mean, listen, you never know when it comes to money. I mean, listen, money talks.
I mean, but what about 150 million in cap space though?
I mean, he did decline 27.5.
Y'all got 150 million cap space. I mean, yeah, I get y'all might not get a lot, but y'all got potential 6 picks from them. Y'all still might get rid of Chris Paul, Monty Morris, who else? I think it was Dylan Wright and some other guy.
Listen, but if Phoenix couldn't sell Chris Paul, what the hell would make it like?
Like I told D-Hop, I think that might be more of a veteran move. Like, trying to bring him in. Y'all got a lot of draft picks. They might draft some guys. You still going to get something out of him. Like, he was still an all-star. You get what I'm saying? Like, you still going to get something out of him. Chris Paul's not trash. He just.
Yeah, I can say this though. I don't think Chris Paul's going to stay in Washington. That's me personally, because the Clippers and the Lakers has been looking into him since this trade, and that's why it's not absolutely finalized yet, because they're trying to get one of those teams to add into that trade. Now, if they go to the Lakers, what is the Lakers willing to give up to go get Chris Paul?
You get what I'm saying?
That's the question here. Like, and think about this, I don't think they're going to give D'Angelo Russell what he wants. He's asking for $100 million. I don't think D'Angelo Russell is a $100 million player, in my opinion. So, I mean, you could send D'Angelo over there to to Washington with some other younger guys that's there, like with the Malik Beasleys and stuff of that nature. But I mean, one thing about Chris Paul, you're not going to get nothing crazy for Chris Paul. You just have to get in the realization of that because of his age and his injury status in the playoffs. So I understand Washington, you want to build your future. I get it. But if you think that you're going to get an arm and a leg for a Chris Paul, you just gonna have to live with what Washington's going to take at this point.
And I mean no offense, big man, but Washington been trying to rebuild ever since Jordan left.
Yeah.
Agreed. And
they
had a team when when Washington had Bill, Hachimura, and Wall. Those guys was good.
Yeah, they just could not.
It was just a tough. It was just a tough time in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, that was before Hachimura though.
But Hachimura came in and still was effective when both of y'all was there. He was younger.
No,
he was effective.
John Wall was not with the Wizards when we drafted.
Oh no, he wasn't.
I thought he was. My bad.
No. You're thinking about the Gortat, Markieff Morris.
Gortat,
John Wall, Bill, and yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's my team. I know, and it hurts, bro. This shit hurts because I feel like it's the same switcheroo that they've done a couple times to us now over the last couple decades, where it's like, okay, we're gonna ship off all of our top talent and we're gonna try to rebuild. But then what are they gonna do? They're gonna go and they're gonna get semi-talented guys to do the fill-in roles, and then eventually they're gonna see, oh, we can get the superstar. Let's go get the superstar. Then you're gonna overpay for a superstar. And we're gonna be right back in the same bullshit we were just in.
I don't think they'll overpay for a superstar.
I mean, but I got
$150 million in cap space. You really can't overpay for a superstar.
But what about some of because the only two destinations that was mentioned right now was the Clippers and LA. I still heard some other names out there also though. I heard Philly. I have heard Miami.
Yeah.
Philly would.
Well, right now, it's a possibility that Miami could land Damian Lillard, and obviously,
right. That's what I was saying.
Godfather works. He might work on something.
And then what about dang, I just literally lost it. What about the Lakers getting Kyrie? Because that's already been nipped in the bud according to Bleacher Report. They said that the Mavs is the only bidder for Kyrie Irving at this point. Is the only bidder. If you want to look at Dallas cap space, they're trying to give Kyrie Irving $275 million. The Lakers ain't giving him that.
That bum doesn't deserve that kind of money. Especially with all of his COVID. I'm trying to lead the people who got fired from a job because they didn't want to get the COVID shot nonsense.
Yeah, and the whole him losing the Nike contract. I saw that post going around too about how John Morant was able to keep his contract, but then when Kyrie Irving was able to share a link of a movie, he lost his contract. But a lot goes into more deeper into that. So my question to y'all is this: now with this Suns team looking the way it is, say if DeAndre Ayton stays, are they the Suns the best team in the West?
Nope.
Yeah. I think so.
Fuck no. I'll argue that all day.
I'd have to say top three for sure.
All around. Come on, them boys don't even play defense. How the fuck is that?
I mean, but that's the only thing. That's the only thing because it's like when you bring Bradley in, he certified plays defense, but it's like Kyrie and Devin Booker. Those are scorers. Those are not two-way type of players, really. Like
exactly. That's what I mean. But even Bradley Beal.
But if Ayton comes to play, with that team, that becomes a whole. If he plays like if he plays to how everybody really like cut all the soft shit out, he'll really be. That team would be something, bro.
He's going to have. I'm happy that you said that because he's going to have to cut it out. Because if you talk about, and let's put some respect on Frank Vogel. Let's just do that as a coach because he won an NBA championship, even though people feel is an asterisk on it because of the bubble and everything of that nature. But he's been to multiple conference finals with different teams, and the guy always had good defenses no matter where he coached at. Now, if he could get DeAndre Ayton to play to the quality of why he got drafted high and he could push him to be one of these top centers in the league, then yes. But if DeAndre Ayton does not he still shows that he's soft as taller tissue that I can wipe my ass with. I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, B guy's going through him like a wet paper bag.
Yes, and that's my only issue with this Suns team. I think the 5 is good. If DeAndre Ayton could come through and actually be a dominant center like the West have, like if you could be that dominant center, you will be good. But like I said earlier before Matt got on here, this Suns team is going to be about this bench. Now, if you take some of these guys out of this rotation and they got to take a break, who is your scores? Because don't get me wrong, you might not like Landry Shamet, Mike, Mac, but the guy can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
He can shoot the ball. The guy,
He's
a good shooter, and when you put him in position to shoot the ball, he's 90% of the time he's going to make it.
Availability. He's got to be available to shoot the ball.
He was available all year. What do you mean?
And where was he at through the playoffs?
He played in the playoffs.
Damn. That lets you know how much of a little mark he made on me.
I mean, what you supposed to expect from a Devin Booker what you supposed to expect from a Devin Booker that don't never want to get subbed out? Like, come on.
Nah, he was balling too. He was balling. So
when you needed a bucket, Cameron Payne and Landry Shamet was the only two coming off the bench that was giving you points for Phoenix.
Yeah. Now, listen, as far as with Phoenix, man, get rid of Aiden. Get him out of there. I literally, a guy like Dwight Howard, bring his ass back from China.
Hell no.
Now, listen to me, hear me out now. That team needs a fucking defensive rim protector, rebounder. That's it. Motherfucker, you big man don't need no offense. You don't need no offense. I don't give a fuck if you 2 feet.
They don't at this point.
You don't need no offense. All I need you to do is give me that ball and rebound that shit back out to the shooters. That's it. That's all you need. Literally, that's all Aiden has to do. If he can learn to rebound.
And my question is this: when Dwight Howard gets fouled and he can't make foul shots, then what? Because DeAndre Ayton can make foul shots. That's one thing I can say about DeAndre Ayton.
But I guess I get what Max saying.
Shooter than Dwight Howard.
But Dwight Howard's
going to have talking about
15 rebounds.
I'm saying, like, you can do that. That's what you need. You need a defensive guy first. Rebounds and defense. Rebound and defense. That's it. If you put a center that does that, like, are you kidding me? That's going to be easy money for them. That literally is how Frank Vogel's defense can work with that team.
I'd rather them go out and get an Andre Drummond than go and get a Dwight Howard.
The drop,
in my opinion. I'll go call Andre Drummond before you call Dwight Howard. I would get an Andre Drummond of right now to get Dwight Howard.
Because Andre Drummond is at least tougher than
exactly. He's tougher than Dwight Howard.
What centers are out there that they could probably get if they do decide to move away from Ayton?
I mean, DeAndre Jordan is done over in Denver. He was on a 1-year deal.
What about Jared Allen? What's going on with him? Is he how long is his contract?
I think he's staying in Cleveland. I don't know. I think he still got 2 years left on his contract in Cleveland.
In the Cat and Rudy situation, like that whole thing, is that gonna stay?
I think that's going to stay, but not too long. But I think it's going to stay for another year.
Because Rudy wouldn't be bad, bro. Like they would probably have to pay him a lot.
Well, Rudy Gobert is going to probably want a bag if he goes but
at the same time too, it's like I feel like because I get what you're saying about the bag, but then I feel like you got some of those players that's on teams like that, like a Rudy Gobert. If he look at himself like, okay, put me on this team, makes this team championship. You get what I'm saying? Like maybe they might can grab. Oh, got a comment. Suns can't build their team now; they're stuck.
Yeah, I'm just reading off the comments.
Good, but I just feel like somebody could just grab, like they can grab them a center like that know, like, okay, I'm trying to win me a championship. I haven't got one. They can make something happen. Like Max said, I can see they just need a defensive rebounding guy. They need a guy to put his hands up, protect the rim, and rebound the ball.
That's it.
You getting 60 shots apiece from these three guys. Like, I mean 20 shots apiece, 60 in total from these guys, like at least. So, yeah, they just need
Howard the Hall of Fame. Hell no, Howard ain't no damn Hall of Famer.
I mean, but how much did you say was that contract that Draymond? What did Draymond decline again?
27.5. Are you thinking Draymond the Phoenix? Are you thinking that?
I mean, I just heard some things. I've been trying to, I've been hearing some things about him, him and KD You know,
I don't. It's not going to happen, and I'm going to tell you
I
why.
just think
It's not going to happen.
Draymond.
The Suns does
Draymond's
not
not. I
have
don't
the
think.
money,
I
bro.
just
They
don't think
don't have the
Draymond's that
money.
pressed. That's why I said Draymond's gonna want his money because he's not pressed to get a championship at this point. So he's not. He's gonna
No,
want his.
I think he's pressed to get a championship, but I just feel like
I don't think so.
I think he's pressed to get a championship, but I think he's done with the Warriors ever since the whole Jordan Poole thing. I think he's done with the Warriors.
Yeah, no, the Warriors have not been the same after that incident.
Yeah, and it's kind of say I don't think see that's not a topic about Dwight Howard being a Hall of Famer. To me, he hasn't done nothing in the league for me to be a Hall of Famer, but win the slam dunk contest in Defensive Player of the Year. You can tell I don't know if you can tell me what other impact that he had outside being Defensive Player of the Year and winning the dunk contest.
You don't think Dwight played good in Orlando?
And you got to think about where Dwight Howard came from. He didn't play no college ball. He came strictly out of high school.
Yeah,
well, yeah, but I mean, look at the roster that he had when they went to the finals in what was it, 09?
Yeah, we had Jameer Nielsen.
Yeah, that was the second best player on that team.
Like,
I'm just not I was never a big fan of Dwight Howard anyway. I just thought the hype was around him because the hype was going around into my next topic, which I forgot to put on here, but still it reminded me of Zion Williamson. The hype is reminding me of Zion Williamson. It really is. But it reminds me of when with generational talents, quote unquote, because I hate the word generational talents get all this talk and you don't live up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when it comes to Dwight Howard after his injuries, he could not live up to his best his abilities.
Injuries.
Same thing for Zion when he came out of Duke.
And
he hurt his knee, he tore his sneaker, and he ain't been the same since he's been drafted.
Well, it's basically been the beginning of the end for him when he was struggling to even maintain his weight.
Yeah.
And now he's fucking around and finding out with a goddamn porn star.
It was to the point where I remember they said they had to make him work on his walk or something like that because I guess he had to make him work on his walk because his weight. Like
it's been talks about Zion possibly being an asset in a trade in the NBA draft. Now Pelicans, according to a few sources, that the Pelicans want to move up and get Scoot. They have Scoot visiting the Pelicans today. On how they do like the little rookie interviews and stuff of that nature, but they're kind of really considering to moving up to get Scoot or Brandon Miller at that spot. So they like been in talks with the Trailblazers to get that spot. So they said that they saying Zion is not on the trade block, but he's not available for everybody. Yeah. That's what they've been saying. So if they're going to trade with the Portland Trailblazers and try to get Zion to be with Damian Lillard, I'm still not a big fan of it because it's still not enough, and you got to give up some players to go back to New Orleans that Dame has chemistry with, and you bring a Zion that don't play 64% of his games. So what's your thought about this whole scenario about Zion and the NBA draft or the Pelicans going to get Scoot Henderson?
Well, listen, for any if the Portland Blazers are going to get Zion Williams to help Damian Lillard, you're putting a fucking Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. Okay, what are you thinking? Like seriously, that is not a fix. That is not a fix for anything. Now kicking the tires to see if that he was a third edition, like the third guy on the team, I can understand that. But going to get Zion Williams to be your second best guy, that just sounds like a shitty fucking move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zion can't even be a first. If Zion can't even be a first option guy, let's just keep it. Let's keep it spade to spade. Like let's keep it real. When it comes to Zion, when you not like you said, the best ability is availability, and Landry Shamet has more availability than Zion Williamson at this point. I'm just saying. I mean, that's what make me fade away from being a Zion fan because it's always some Nick injuries or something or why he's not on the floor. And that's why I feel like it won't work in Portland. Yes, I would love for them to go get Scoot because Scoot's been in the G League. He's playing with grown men. He has not played with college boys. He's been in the G League. So he's coming from the G League to. I mean, I forgot. I don't think it's the G League, but I forgot the name of the league that you can still get drafted in the NBA. But he's playing with grown men down there. You know what I'm saying? He's playing with grown men down there. So I feel like Scoot could come in and actually fill those Zion. Well, there was really no shoes to fill for Zion because he has not been on the floor. But I just don't see it working in Portland because Zion will not be available, and Dame's still going to win out.
Yep.
I just see it as that. But if they do have this happen, who is Portland willing to give up to go to New Orleans? I think the guy Anthony Simons, I think he'll be good in New Orleans with Brandon Ingram. I think there'll be a 2 young core with what's the guard's name from the Pelicans?
Jose?
CJ McCollum.
They got CJ
McCollum. I think that'll be a nice little young core because you got availability at all 3 spots in there. But I mean, for Zion is just at a standstill. It's at a standstill at this point.
The Knicks wouldn't be a bad move for him, I don't think. I've been seeing the Knicks, and I've seen Detroit as a possible early this morning. Detroit may be possible for him too, but like you said, it's gonna be tough to predict how it's gonna go anywhere with him because we haven't seen him play. Like we haven't even seen you. We damn near haven't even seen him play half a season.
Yeah,
like we haven't got to see him play half a season. Like,
yep.
I don't like. It's like you can't even say nothing. I can't just keep going off your Duke highlights at this point. Your high school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. But me and Mac had a conversation earlier last week about this. Mac was like, if you give him to at least November, see what he can do, and then trade him. I'm at the point where I saw enough, and it's time for the Pelicans to move on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm in the same boat with you when you were talking about John Morant last week. It's like this kid is going to have to step up and make actions speak louder than words because it's like at this point, you're really on a not trusting level of what you can do and what you're capable of.
Exactly. I agree there. So just a little quick take to just ask y'all real quick because I know we switched off to Zion, but who would fit? What would be the better fit for Chris Paul if this 3-team trade would happen? Will Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook work with the Clippers, or will it be better for Chris Paul to go to the Lakers?
I say Lakers. They want to get D'Lo out of there. They got the big man. I mean, but see, it's a lot of moving pieces with that too. Because like, are they gonna pay Reeves? Like, it's a lot of kind of.
Reeves earned his bag too.
Yeah, so you get what I'm saying. So it's like, man. But I don't think the Clippers. It's something just weird about that team. It's like they just can't. Because I feel like that's what they've been doing is shipping out point guards. They picked up John Wall. They picked up Westbrook. Like, that's what they've been doing is shipping out, like, the last couple of years, just shipping out point guards, getting them back in. I don't feel like if Chris Paul going to go there, he might as well end his career there, how I look at it. But if he's trying to win, he might need to go to L.A.
The only way I say it doesn't fit with the Clippers because the injury status of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and Chris Paul all on one team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's been shown that even in the later part of the season that friggin' Kawhi and PG-13 just cannot stay healthy to save their lives.
And it sucks because I feel like Russell Westbrook found his way back. Mm-hmm. If you look at the playoffs when he was with the Clippers, you saw a little glimpse of the old Westbrook, you know, in with the Clippers than he was with the Lakers. So me personally, I would take a healthy Russell Westbrook right now and not put Chris Paul on that team. That's just me. The only thing that's hurting Russell Westbrook right now is that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard cannot stay healthy, and I don't even think they played 100 games together. I don't even think they did.
And I didn't even think about that. Now that y'all saying that, put 3 injury-prone players on the same team.
and as bad as I got on Westbrook, he's been healthy. He's been more healthy than all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like he's been showing glimpses of his MVP year back in OKC.
Yeah, Westbrook still like And then that's crazy too because he actually didn't play that bad once he got to the Clippers. It just once again his team is really available. Like you got him out there playing with Zubac and I mean I don't
Hey,
know
don't
who
sleep
else.
on Zubac. He all right. He ain't the best, but he all right. Don't sleep on Zubac. He all right. Nick Batum, he's all right too. You know, they good. Batum is good in some sorts. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. He reminds me of a Duncan Robinson, but taller. So I mean, he reminds me of that. But yeah. So I me personally, I'll say the Lakers would be the best fit if Miami could get involved. Which I don't want that because I feel like they have their guard play already. I think they're lacking big men.
Yeah,
in Miami
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna go with the wild card and say the that was mentioned earlier, the 76ers, because I mean, I think the combination of both CP3 and Joel Embiid would be something really dangerous versus James Harden and Joel Embiid.
Out of here. Get James Harden out of here.
Yes.
Yeah, we not even gonna start on my James Harden right now.
Listen, we're not gonna get on a bum that's not gonna get no further. He didn't help them. Yes, a bum.
The dude peaked
and I'm gonna tell you why a bum.
All there is to it.
He's a bum. Just because he averaged a double in the regular season, you couldn't even do that in the playoffs.
All I'm gonna say is we're talking about one of the top 10 shooting guards of all time right now. You understand that, right?
Wait. You said what now?
One of the top 10 shooting guards of all time. And
top 10 shooting guards of all time.
And James Harden, one of the top 10 shooting guards of all time. Do you understand? He has at least 5 records.
Season,
you understand that right now? James Harden has 5 records. He has 5 records that nobody in the NBA even has. Period. So let's start there first.
What records is that? What records are that?
I mean, one of them was going from Houston to Brooklyn.
And it's funny because since you even said that, D-Hop, I got a funny one for you that I remember, and it's crazy because it's actually a bad one. One of the ones he actually has is most turnovers in the playoffs game. Most turnovers in the playoff game. That's actually one of the records he has. But
the word guard comes to play. When you guard, you have to guard the back.
Man, look.
As a guard, you have to guard and not be careless with the basketball, right?
Listen, that was a playoff season where after season where that whole season he was having 60 points.
You know what I could do. This is how predictable James Harden is. Dribble between the legs, step back, shoot, comes up, dribble between the legs, hesitate, drives left. Can you tell me anything else about his style of play?
I mean, look, this is what's crazy though, because I'm such a James Harden fan. At a point, I actually like I used to watch. It's like a show on YouTube that actually break down moves. I know his whole bag. Like it's crazy because it starts with the between every time, between the legs, and he creates off that. He might go behind the back but either way. He has been doing this for how many years, and how many people have we really seen stop it?
In how many years that he failed to not get to the Western or Eastern Conference Finals or a NBA Finals in his career?
He was playing Curry and them by himself. He was by himself.
He wasn't by himself against Boston.
I mean, but can we put
he
that
wasn't
on?
by himself against Boston?
But
if you want to pull up numbers, Maxey had a better playoff season than Harden here.
Hold on.
Let's talk about it.
Do you know 2 of those games in that series wouldn't have been won if it wasn't for James Harden? 2 of those games that it wouldn't even have went that far.
But still look at Tyrese Maxey's numbers in those games. Consistency is what we had from Tyrese Maxey than we had from James Harden.
So you telling me you take James Harden away from that team, y'all get the Sixers get swept. They might not even make it. They might even make it past the first round.
It's a few reasons why the Sixers would get swept with or without James Harden.
All I'm saying is that series wouldn't have been as good.
The lack of a bench from the 70s. The lack of a bench from the 76ers. Because I'm about to break it down to you. The lack of a bench. Nobody's caring about no George Niang. Nobody's caring about no Korkmaz. Nobody's caring about no. Paul Reed. Yes, he has developed. He has got better, but nobody's really caring about a Paul Reed at this point. Let's just be realistic.
Yeah.
Nobody's caring about a Jaden Springer. Like, come on.
No,
that's one thing. Number 2, you're playing 4-on-5. You know why? Because PJ Tucker does not shoot the basketball well. He's great defensively. I don't have no problem with him.
He
But
kind of
playing
pissed me off, though,
4-on-5
bro.
on offense, because when he shoots from the corner, it's like, oh, is he going to make it or is he going to miss it? It's not guaranteed.
Nah, I feel like he sold us. You gotta think, me personally as a James Harden fan, I'm like, damn, this not the PJ Tucker we just seen playing for the Bucks. Like, what the hell is you? This what? Like, huh? It's like really.
So you're telling me, because we will get to the next topic. So you're telling me that PJ Tucker sold more than what James Harden sold?
Bro, what are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Oh my God, man.
I mean, the Sixers messed up big time when they decided to let Jimmy Butler walk.
And then hold on. That's another thing I want to talk about too, because I feel like everybody, like James Harden, because he has this stigma of he chokes in the playoffs, right? He was just the scapegoat. It's his fault. It's his fault. Nobody's gonna talk about Tobias Harris playing inconsistent the whole series. Nobody gonna talk about Joel Embiid still barely playing in the paint. All those unnecessary threes that he shoots. Nobody gonna talk about even Tyrese. Tyrese has some bad shots. I
got a rebuttal for that though, because they have to adapt to how James Harden play.
Oh,
they have to adapt, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because on the Bill Simmons Simmons podcast, Doc Rivers came on there and said that James Harden and Doc Rivers had two different ways on how they wanted to play the game.
But are we talking about a guy that
he said he would rather had a younger James Harden than the James Harden he had now.
And that's the crazy part about it. But what you saying that, what adapting are they doing? If he's passing them the ball, he's leading the league in assists. He's giving you the ball.
But and I say this all the time. Just because you lead the league in points, just because you lead the league in assists in a regular season, that's not going to carry over to the playoffs. And it didn't. And it didn't for Joel Embiid either, because it's making me regret my argument of why Joel Embiid should have won MVP over Jokic. Dead ass.
I mean, I said the same thing before Jokic even won. I said if Jokic wins, it's going to be like, damn, they kind of, they did him wrong with the MVP.
I just feel like at this point in James Harden's career, that I feel like he's overpaid.
Mm-hmm.
He's overpaid. He's lazy on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a predictable player, bro. And the thing about it is when he did have those 2 games against Boston, but we had a 7-game series. This was James Harden's time in the game 7 to show up where he said, oh, F the 76ers, F everybody. And then right after they lost, he threw Doc Rivers under the bus, even though he was going to get fired, but it made it even more easier for the 76ers to fire him, because James Harden came out and said something, because him and Daryl Morey are buddies or butt buddies or whatever they want to call themselves.
I mean, but and don't get me wrong, I went to bat for Doc, but did Doc really coach that series well?
I mean,
he was definitely handcuffed with Harden.
Yeah, you can't.
But that's
coach
what I'm
Harden.
saying. So every time somebody does something wrong, all of a sudden James Harden is the cause of that problem.
Because I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say a little bit. We're gonna move on. When it comes to James Harden, Doc Rivers can call a timeout and run a play, and James Harden won't do what the play.
We're having a whole James Harden segment tomorrow. I personally just.
I don't want to have it. I'm done talking.
I'm just confused. I'm confused.
Mercy.
How good were the 76ers before
This is why
James
I'm
Harden?
no longer a 76ers fan. I took my talents to Miami and I stayed there. And I'm still a Miami Heat fan to this point, because James Harden he's not a Philadelphia 76er. He does not bring heart. He does not bring grit. He does not bring physicality. He doesn't bring none of that. He brings nothing that he doesn't.
Are you talking about the guy that
played
playoffs back to back with an injured big man? And with nobody else on the supporting cast barely doing anything?
He had, but the thing about it is Joel Embiid still had double-digit points and he's still getting double doubles the way that he was playing. If you look at the game 7 numbers for Joel Embiid, look at the game 6 numbers for Joel Embiid, look at the game 5 numbers for Joel Embiid, and then we can talk. Look at the James and compare it to James Harden.
Are you still talking about the games where Al Horford was the leading scorer? Is that one of the games you're referring to? Al Horford.
What that got to do with it? What that got to do with anything?
Because I'm saying we're talking about defense, so that's why we're not going to address. You can't address James Harden defense. What about Joel and him wanting to be a 3-point shooter?
He must not know how good the Boston Celtics is when they pass to the basketball.
No, they're great. They're great, but
and that's what makes Al Horford wide open at the three.
They're not great. Al Horford lead the scorer great. They're not that good. They're not that good. I'm sorry.
They're good. They're good enough pass. They're good enough passing the basketball. They really are to get their big men to shoot threes.
Bro, if I can't wait, we're gonna have to upgrade the show because I want to bring up plays specifically where I'm seeing the rotation. They're swinging the ball to the corner. Al Horford and Joel just doesn't even move. He just look over there and he might walk over there. He don't even move. Like, come on, you can't say that from James Harden. You were getting his hands active in the lane. His hands was active in the lane. He was tipping passes. How many back? We'll get on that another time, man.
Yeah, we'll get on that another time because like I said, James Harden is a scrub and he's past his prime. He's done.
He's a top 10 all-time player.
Bro, he peaked in fucking Houston. He ain't been the same since.
He's not. When has he had a chance to be the same? He went to
Philadelphia. What you mean?
No, the fuck he didn't. Why do we keep playing? Why do y'all keep trying to act like Joel Embiid is that guy? First of all, it took a minute for that team.
Just won MVP.
Hold on. First of all, it took for a minute for that team to even mesh. Then it took a minute for Joel to even pass his fucking teammates the ball because every time he get it, he wants to shoot a three or fucking fluff in the air. Like, why are we playing like?
Oh, we don't want to talk about jacking threes when it comes to James Harden. Now, come on.
But you're talking about one of the top. You're talking about one of the top 3 players in one converted threes with dribbles. Him, that's the player you're talking about. I'd rather him take a three. I'd rather him take a three than my fucking big. I'd rather him take a three than my fucking big man any day.
I know you working, bro. Go ahead, man. I don't understand how we defended James Harden here. Like we defended him like he's a top 5 player that needs max money. He's not even worth a max contract.
I just know he's a top 10 player all time to ever play his position. Point blank. Period. And you call me out. You name me 10 players.
James Harden is not an MVP caliber player. He's not a top 10. He's not even a top 10 player of all time.
Yes, he is.
He's not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Oh yeah, I don't know what you smoking in Carolina. I think you smoking that.
Do you know how many top 10 records James Harden has? Like,
it doesn't matter. He's not a top 10 player. He's not a clutch player.
That doesn't make sense.
Player. He's not a top 10 player.
The only players that are above him is literally because they have rings. Literally, the only players that are above James Harden literally because they have rings. Name some shooting guards that don't have rings that are better than him.
Allen Iverson is the top 10 player. And he's better than James Harden. Are we forgetting that?
No. Any day of the week.
No.
Allen Iverson is a top 10 player all time. Changed the game in multiple ways. What have James Harden done to change the game?
What do you mean? What has he done? He changed the game in multiple ways. What are you talking about?
Name them.
What are you talking about? Did you not just hear me say top player and unassisted 3-point converted?
That doesn't make him a top 10 player all time.
So what makes Allen Iverson better than James Harden?
What you mean? He's more aggressive. He went to the better shooter. He drives to the basket. He put his team on his back when he needs to. You never saw Allen Iverson fold. You never saw Allen Iverson fold in the playoff game. Never.
What team did Allen Iverson go to the playoffs again? Who's on that team?
What you mean? Who was on that team?
Who was on the team?
They traded. Mind you, they were still a good team before they traded and they brought Dikembe Mutombo.
Coming out of his prime, Dikembe Mutombo, the next guy that's even worth talking about.
It don't motherfucking matter. We're talking about a Dikembe Mutombo.
But you're talking about how many teams that Harden had that could have went to the NBA Finals and didn't. Iverson did it with less. That's a fact. He did it with less.
Name me a player on James Harden's team that's been good besides Chris Paul. And I'm talking about on the Rockets when he had a run to go. Name me a time
on the Rockets. Okay, I was like, I thought you were going to say.
I know you got time. I'm saying when he could have went when it was open for him to go.
We just gonna forget about Kevin Durant?
It's the same guy that you validated for, PJ Tucker. You validated for him. You validated for him just now, not too long ago.
But PJ is gonna help him beat the Warriors. Just him and PJ.
But if you look at, but you want to be funny though. Doesn't the 76ers team look like that same Rockets team with PJ Tucker and Daniel House and all them guys? But you're still validating for James Harden. Come on.
Hell no.
We're not gonna have this debate.
Hell no. You know, Capella wasn't shooting threes. He wasn't doing that.
I can't believe he said
was that
that James
defensive
Harden is a top
enforcer.
10 all-time
He
player.
was the dude that
I
they
can
were
name-
like, I bet you gonna guard Draymond.
Like I said, man, it'd be a lot of
James Harden's
harder.
not a top 10 all-time player. He's just not.
It's you okay? I know he is. You can
not.
if I know he is. You
You're
like I
saying
said,
we're not saying at the position. We're saying all time.
You fact check me then and name me 10 all-time players, their all-time career that are better than him. Give me 10. Of course you're gonna have your couple. Of course you're gonna have your couple.
I named you one
like
that
Kobe.
actually played for the 76ers and actually took them to a finals with less than what James Harden ever had in his
shooting
career.
guard. Were we talking about shooting guards?
You talking about shooting guards?
Yes, that's why I said top 10.
If you want to take championships away, Kobe was a better player than James
No, I'm
Harden.
not saying, but you can't take
without the finals, without
but that's what I'm
championships.
saying.
You're
We're not
bugging.
arguing a Kobe. I would never argue a Kobe with a James Harden. I'm not saying that.
But you saying
'cause you
shooting
got
guards.
players-
That's the first name that came
You
up.
got players like Kobe. You got like a Ray Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like
Better than James Harden.
You got
Keep
a couple.
going.
Who else do you got? I might throw Tracy in there. I'll throw Tracy in there.
Definitely throw
If he
T-Mac
stays
in
healthy,
there.
yeah, he's definitely worth.
Who else? I'm missing some. I'm missing big. Oh, D Wade, of course. D Wade, of course.
Yeah. You think you want to keep going because
I'm saying, but then after that, let's keep going. Let's keep going because how many more can you name? We're talking about with all-time careers that are better than his. Like, regardless of how you feel in the playoffs, when you think about D Wade, when you think about Kobe, did McGrady win anything?
McGrady didn't have the teams to win anything.
Oh no, but did McGrady win anything?
He didn't. But he
solidified. He had
a bigger impact when he first came out in Toronto with Vince. He had a better impact. Manu Ginobili. He's not. James Harden's not better than Ginobili. Are we bugging? He's not better than Miller. Are we bugging?
So back to what I'm saying. Back to what I was saying. Tracy McGrady solidified his all-time greatness because he didn't win anything in the postseason. So his all-time greatness was off his preseason. I mean his mid-season stats, his regular season stats. Correct. Like his regular season games.
He showed up in those playoffs. He showed up, even though they lost. He showed up. The rest of the team didn't help him. That's the difference. James outside of his Oklahoma City career, he hasn't showed up in the playoffs.
He was a sixth man. They had Andre Robinson starting over him.
But I understand that. But you see that James Harden played better when he came off the bench than he was as a starter.
No, he
had his good years, and then he left OKC and went to Houston. He had his good years, won the scoring title, won the MVP. Cool. But when it came to the playoffs, when you're in the playoffs, that's when it matters. I don't care about when the NBA playoffs start. And I think anybody
My whole
can
thing
agree
is you just gave T-Mac off the rip. You just gave T-Mac an excuse. Oh, he didn't have a good team. But with James Harden, that's why I asked you, name me a team. And I'm talking about the Houston.
Hold up. But name me a point guard that T-Mac had that was better than Chris Paul. Then I wait.
Chris Paul went down when it mattered. As soon as we got
but Chris Paul was still good in the regular season, right?
But he
played all regular season, right?
Chris Paul, and he went down when it mattered.
Listen.
If Chris Paul could have played and us play that series, I believe we could have won. I remember watching that, being so hurt when he got hurt. Like, wow, it's over with. There's no way we're gonna beat them without him. It was no way.
I just don't think he's a top 10 point shooting guard of all time.
But for him to have a top, because I just feel like you can't name.
You still got to add Jordan to that top 10.
Yeah. Well, he's number one on the list, regardless.
Yeah, he's number one.
Of course, he's number one on that list. But remember, you just named Ray Allen. So we're not putting it in no order. But we said Jordan. You named Ray Allen. You named Dwayne Wade. You named Tracy McGrady.
Matter of fact, let's not even put Tracy up there yet.
No, you named them.
We're going rings first. Great players with rings.
No, we're not talking about rings. We're just saying players. No rings. Players.
But I'm saying when you talk about all-time career, that rings that definitely counts towards that. That definitely counts towards that. When you talk about Kobe.
But when you make an impact on the game, Tracy and Vince, when them Toronto years. Those Toronto years was they made an impact in the Eastern Conference.
And who was on that team once again?
You had Steph Curry, you had Del Curry on that team. You had Vince. You had Tracy McGrady. Yeah, but you had role players that stepped up when they stars didn't.
But you said they made a splash on that team. That's when they made a difference in the game.
They did.
So James Harden didn't.
Used to be
James
tough.
Harden to make a difference the year he won the scoring title. Like I haven't seen that been done since. Like what? I'm confused, bro. Why?
Steph Curry outdid
hate
James Harden after what James Harden did.
I just got to get this off my heart, and it's on the show because I'm so tired of people trying to belittle James Harden's career because of the playoff thing. And I get it. I'm a fan. I get it. But we're not going to act like even you saying he didn't change the game is crazy. The step back.
What has he done to change the game? What did he do? Besides win scoring titles and MVPs, what else did he do?
The step back had been a move. But who really patented the step back? When you think about step back now, who do you think about? Who the first name came out?
Nobody cares about the step back.
But that's a change in the game. What do you mean?
That's not changing the game. The step back been there before Harden got there. Nobody just was not using it. The step back been there.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about changing the game, so what did Tracy McGrady do?
That's not changing the game to me, bro.
What did Tracy McGrady do to change the game?
What Ginobili did to change the game? He brought the Euro step to the game in America. He brought the Euro step.
And who mastered that? Who mastered that?
He didn't master it more than Ginobili did.
What?
He didn't master it. Ginobili has the best Euro step in basketball history.
No,
Are
he
you
didn't,
bugging?
Bro, changing the game is what Devin Hester did for football.
Okay. That's a good example. That's a good example.
Thank you.
That's a good example.
Thank you. I can't believe we just really spent that time talking about a guy that's irrelevant in the league, as in my opinion.
Man, you talk about a guy that if he wasn't on your Philadelphia team,
Friday, come on,
a guy if he wasn't even on your Philadelphia team, you wouldn't even be complaining about the playoffs.
I already said what I said about John Moran. I put it out there. Listen, if you want to go out there and I will give you the floor right now, bro, about John Moran. You ain't get a chance to get your rocks off about that. Listen, I know you've been calling this man a wankster. You was in the chat saying all that.
Yes, this man really thought because we're in a day and age of like where social media takes over. This man really trying to think he living that tough life. It's like, dude, you are acting like a total wankster right now. And who do you think is going to be seeing some of this shit that's going to be like, oh, you won't flash a gun? You think you tough? I know you got paid. What's up? You going to give me some of that money? Like, dude, you're not that guy. You're not tough. Like I said in the comments, this man is softer than Liberace at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah. Talk about it, man.
I mean, he got Steve Adams on that team to like really help him pull him in the right direction, and he's choosing to be a dumbass.
Well, let's go over to some NFL for a little bit because I read this article on Bleacher Report yesterday about ranking the best running back duos going into the season.
I got a good one for this.
And it's 8 of them on here, but do y'all want me to start from 8 to 1 or y'all want me to start from 1 to 8?
Start from 8 to 1. 8 to 1.
So 8 to 1. Let me see. Let me go to so they started at the bottom. So let me go all the way back up to the top. And this was very intriguing. At number 8, they have a bunch of honorable mentions. And I didn't understand why you put a bunch of honorable mentions at number 8. They have the Baltimore Ravens with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Then they have Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs with Isaiah Pacheco and Jarrett McKinnon. The Los Angeles Chargers with Austin Eckler and Joshua Kelly as the honorable mentions for number 8.
Well, it's only a matter of time before Eckler gets out of L.A. or
Yes,
San Diego, because he wants that money,
right, and deservedly so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And deservedly so. But I think the one that really stands out to me for the honorable mention, if these two guys could be healthy, if J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards could be healthy for Baltimore, I think it'll be a very underrated duo going into the season if they can stay healthy. Because it's been rumors coming out stating that J.K. Dobbins is not happy with his contract situation, which I don't understand why, because you've been healthy. You haven't been healthy the last 2 to 3 seasons.
Mhm.
So I get it. You want your bag, but you got to put the production out there as well.
Right, and not to mention that he's basically playing with a running back quarterback.
Yeah. So
what about the Swift move? I kind of like Swift.
I kind of like Swift. The reason why they did that because of Miles Sanders going to Carolina.
Yeah, him
That's
going to
why
Carolina.
they did that. Because
And then,
Miles
basically,
Sanders went to Carolina, but Miles Sanders ain't getting no bag. He got an okay contract, but he ain't getting no bag. But y'all know the running back. Y'all know the running backs in the NFL ain't gonna get the bag like they used to. They're not getting the Christian McCaffrey numbers. Like he's getting 16, 17 guaranteed. You're not going to see that from any other running back. If only person I could probably say, and I'm gonna be biased, that's Josh Jacobs. If you look at the numbers from last year,
that's crazy because he's on. Yeah, he's one of the players I had on my list. But
yeah, he's
Swift
one of the players that probably deserving of that bag. But number 7, they have David Montgomery and the rookie Jahmyr Gibbs for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
And
I think that's interesting. But I just want to see what Jahmyr Gibbs can do.
Yeah, what he can do first.
If David Montgomery can stay healthy, because I know he was great, he was good in Chicago, but injuries hinder him. That's my only problem with that.
It was that god-awful offensive line that the Bears had. Oh my God, they couldn't stop COVID.
They couldn't stop Ebola.
That's what I'm saying.
It was bad.
It was just hut, and then Justin Fields running for his goddamn life.
Number 6, they have the Seattle Seahawks up here with Kenneth Walker III and the rookie Zach Charbonnet, if I said it pronounced rightly, but I like Kenneth Walker III. I don't know about Zach just yet. I gotta see what he could do, coming out of the draft. But I do think it helps out Geno Smith to bounce back from his great year. I think if he can stay consistent and have a running game and stop him from not getting turnovers as much.
Yeah,
I think he can have a good second year and help the Seattle Seahawks team.
I mean, man still has the coldest delivery from last year.
Yeah.
Tried to write me off. I didn't write back. Bro, why? You ain't got to go that hard with that.
So the next one I have here, number 5, I have the New Orleans Saints with Jamal Williams and Alvin Kamara.
I
love this.
That's going to be deadly.
And people fail to realize that Jamal Williams led the league in touchdowns last season.
I said, didn't he have?
Well, yeah, it was because he was playing with Detroit, and everybody looks at it like, oh well, it's fucking Detroit. What are they gonna do, huh?
They said he was supposed to be one of the best catching backs last year too. Jamal Williams, I think.
Yeah. Jamal Williams, he led the league in rushing touchdowns though, because when he get down that red zone, it's guaranteed with Jamal Williams.
I just think is Al, like, is he going, he's kind of, I don't want to say he's on a decline. He didn't have a bad season, but it's just not the Alvin everybody know him to be. Like,
he didn't have a quarterback. If you look at it, who cares for Andy Dalton?
I mean, Carolina.
I mean, you got a Derek Carr that's Mr. Dump Down, Mr. Check it down himself. Our Kamara could use that, That's Mr. Check Down himself. But the next one I have here, at number 4, they have. I'm not really too big on this one. Why they have number 4 is the Atlanta Falcons with Bijan Robinson, and Tyler Algier. I don't know who Tyler Algier is, but I know who Bijan Robinson is from Texas.
They actually have a trio, actually, to me, because they have this. This is what I actually have when you asked the question. I had this for my number 1 because they have Bijan, they have Algier, and they have Cordell. They still have Cordell, so it's like you gotta think that when I was reading about their offseason report, they bringing Bijan in more to catch out the backfield, like him to be more of a catch out the backfield type player for them.
Right.
And Algier last year, I had some stats about him I actually wrote down. I know he had what was it? He was averaging 3.58 yards after contact. He had 51 missed tackles last year. Then Bijan coming out of college, he had 104 missed tackles on 257 carries. Like Atlanta's already built. If you watch them last year, their offense is kind of built for running. like kind of. And
Yeah.
so I just think,
So Desmond Ritter don't have to turn the ball
yeah.
over.
Yeah.
It's helped to protect him.
Yeah.
But then it's like, what are y'all gonna do with players like Kyle Pitts and Drake London and stuff?
If Kyle Pitts can stay healthy, because listen, Kyle Pitts is a Philadelphia native. I watched him in high school, and I watched him when he played at Florida. If he can stay healthy, this offense is going to look good. He has to stay healthy though.
They'll make some noise in the NFC South for sure.
I love that.
Absolutely,
I love that
they can have a chance to win it. And the way the NFC South is looking right now is in the air for anybody to win that division at this point.
Yeah.
Atlanta's my dark horse this year. I got Atlanta as my dark horse.
Yeah, I could see them being a dark horse.
I can see them being a dark horse. Yeah, absolutely. Number 3, they have the Cleveland Browns here with Nick Chubb and Jerome Ford. Now, I don't know about Jerome Ford, but we all know what Nick Chubb can do. Losing Kareem Hunt, that's big for Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
That's big. And mind you, Kareem Hunt is still out there on the market. That's crazy to me.
He's still a good running back. Like, he got that speed and power, but the way the NFL cracked down, though.
Yeah, I get it. I get it in the way the running back, margin is when it comes to a salary or getting a contract now. It's hard because you got the Zeke. Zeke is still out there. He's not signed to a team. And, Dalvin Cook, he said he's not in no rush to sign, but we can see Dalvin Cook probably end up, hopefully, I'm thinking Miami.
Honestly, yes,
I'm thinking Miami, but hey, we got to see what's going to happen here.
Right.
Number 2, I like this one. Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, that was another big one. Yeah.
Listen, I'm a Raiders fan and I'm wearing red and I don't care because my brim says red as well. But I don't care, man. This tandem right here.
Mm-hmm.
And even I don't care if it's Brock Purdy or Trey Lance. You have one of the top duos in football when it comes to running the ball at this point.
You just look at that offensive team that the Niners have. It is just
loaded. It's really loaded, and I got to give Kyle Shanahan his props though, because even though no matter what quarterback you put in there, he's making sure that they are prepared.
They went to the NFC Championship with Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant, you damn right. But
that man became relevant.
Yeah, sure did. And all right, so quick take for both of y'all. Who starts for the 49ers, Lance or Purdy?
I think I got. I've been trying to keep up with the OTAs. I think probably Lance is gonna start next year. With this year, the season coming out, I think Lance probably gonna start.
Because even though I'm not a big fan of him, but Sam Darnold's over there too.
I'm thinking either Purdy or Darnold. Like, yeah, he's been on a lot of losing teams, but you put him on this kind of team with this kind of experience.
Darnold might revive his career, bro.
Exactly. The same way Geno Smith did in Seattle.
That's what I was thinking, because if you look at the team Sam Darnold had in Carolina, you had a DJ Moore, but you didn't have nothing else outside of that. When he was in New York, he didn't have nothing in New York.
Yep.
So now you got Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. You got a veteran defense on top of that.
Oh.
That might help Sam Darnold. That might help it. But the number 1 running back duo that they have on this list is Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. The Green Bay Packers.
I'm not surprised. But
I'm not surprised either, though.
I think
these two guys. I think AJ Dillon was a steal in the draft for me because I wanted him. When AJ Dillon came out, I wanted him. I was yo, go get him, because I think he went in the 3rd or 4th round, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, Raiders need to go get him, because at that time we didn't really have a true backup for Josh Jacobs. Just imagine Josh Jacobs and AJ Dillon in the Raiders backfield. What?
That's a tough game.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be able to have seen anything like that since Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs of the New York Giants.
Yes.
2 big guys going to be tough to tackle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they both elusive for their size. Like, though, even though they power, but they both elusive. They got good feet work when they get out in open space. So,
Oh yeah.
and I like Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a very versatile running back that could do it all. You know, get the ball out even before AJ Dillon, when he had Jamal Williams, they was doing it at that time too. So, number one duo that they have on this list here is Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. And shout out to Trey Larkins from Wise Guy Sports Podcast. He's a Packers fan, and you know, I knew you would like this because I'm not really. I got to see what Jordan Love can do at quarterback. You know,
Yeah.
I want to see what Jordan Love does at quarterback, but you have an Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon that helps you out when you have, you know, stability at the running back position. So,
I got a question though. Nobody thinks about they should have got an honorable mention. What about Devin Singletary and Pierce and Houston? I guess because it's Houston, but I mean we're talking about duos. That's not a bad duo. Singletary didn't have a bad season.
It's an underrated duo. It's just that, you know, Pierce coming off of his rookie year, Singletary's leaving Buffalo to come there. We just got to see how it's going to work now. DeMeco Ryans is taking over as the head coach.
Yeah,
and CJ Stroud, they rookie quarterback. It's a lot of questions there. I think next year, when the next season comes, then they might be in that top 10 depending on what they do this year.
Yeah. I'll agree to that.
So the new Bears linebacker Tremaine Edmonds that came over from Buffalo, he said something in an article that Justin Fields reminds, like, he has the potential to remind him of a Jalen Hurts. Now, I want to say this in some ways. We all know Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts are their running quarterbacks when it's needed. But we all know that Jalen Hurts, they built him an offensive line, so he didn't have to run that much. Yep. Now, they did go out in the draft and picked up some solid offensive linemen and went free agency and got some solid offensive linemen. I don't understand why Alex Leatherwood is still on his roster. That's another story for another time because I even hated the pick when we got him. But they said I can see the comparison. I can see the comparison in talent wise.
Oh yeah.
But can Justin Fields actually do it now, knowing that you got Chase Claypool? You traded DJ. You traded for DJ Moore. You got out there the number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
Now you got a young up and coming tight end in Cole Kmet, which is very underrated, but he's good.
Yep.
I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out who their running backs are in Chicago. I'm not too sure who their running backs are in Chicago. I think it's the guy Khalil Herbert.
Yes,
was the backup to Montgomery at the time. I think it was Khalil Herbert. And they still got Darnell Mooney over there too. I totally forgot about Darnell Mooney.
And they picked up Foreman from the Panthers too.
What, Deontay Foreman?
Yeah.
Okay, not too bad at running back.
Yeah, I mean, during the draft, I was really hoping that the Bears would get Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, he's in Atlanta. Hope he has
that actually would have fit good.
Yeah.
That's correct. You said that. That actually would have been a good fit for him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. The way how Chicago run their offense, they want to pound the rock. So so that would have made sense for Bijan to go to Chicago. But do you think that he could be? Can you see Justin Fields being the next Jalen Hurts in some ways? If you look at how this team is building around Justin Fields in Chicago.
Yeah, I can kind of see the comparison. I mean, like, they're both stacked in their own way. And, I mean, this kid, he's really going to show, like, the fact that Chicago cleaned house and went and got all these guys, all these draft picks to build around Fields. So, I mean, I could easily see it.
What you think, Bud?
I don't know. I mean, because when I think about Hurts, I think about throwing the ball, and that's just something Justin just hasn't kind of like prove he can really like consistently do at this point. Like, he has the feet, he has the mobility. I just have to see. Like you said, he got more options. Now you got Claypool, you got DJ, you got Cole, you got a running back. I don't really know what their line looks like, but I just kind of got to see him throw the ball a little bit more. You done seen Hurts put even though he has some good receivers, Hurts has had some dogs at receiver, but still. You just seen him put the ball where it needs to be under pressure, like in the
He
Super
put the
Bowl.
ball
Like,
in the end zone in the closing seconds of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I wanted them to beat the Chiefs. Knowing me being a Raiders fan, I wanted them to beat the Queens. I call them the
but
Queens.
I just want to see him throw more. But I can see the comparison, though. I can see the comparison. I just want to see him throw the ball a little bit more. But I guess he hadn't really got the chance to with his conditions. I guess I don't want to say his conditions, but his team. So
Offensive line, protect Justin Fields. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Protect Justin Fields, and you will see that arm. You
Yeah.
will see it.
No. Oh yeah, you'll probably see him revert back to his Ohio State days when he was just launching it.
And I had to. And I'm gonna throw this out there because I think both of y'all don't know this, but I really had issues with Ohio State quarterbacks because they're not great in the NFL, but we might have two in C.J. Stroud and Justin Fields that might make me change my mind about Ohio State quarterbacks.
I think they trying to kind of throw the Vic image on your boy, yeah, like make him like a Vic, like he can run, but he can throw, but his running ability is what really makes him a threat. How I feel it's he's becoming like a Vic.
I think Justin Fields doesn't want to run the ball that much though. I
No,
think he
I
just
mean,
be
he
running
had
for
more
his
rush-
life. That's the thing.
The poor kid had more rushing yards
I did Chicago games
than he did in his 4 years at Ohio State.
I did
yeah.
Chicago games. I did play-by-play of Chicago games last year, and I'm like, Justin, I feel so bad for him when it came to the offensive line last year. I felt so bad. You know how you watch the little Giants and you see the kid just keep running around and running around? That's what Justin Fields looked like last season when the line did not block. It looked bad, man. It looked bad.
But true. Unfortunate but true.
I mean, I'm sorry I had to use that reference, Justin Fields. I'm sorry, but I had to do it. I got some breaking news coming out of Adrian Wojnarowski on Twitter saying ESPN sources, in addition to Bradley Bills, and Jordan Goodwin, the Wizards are including for Isaiah Todd in the trade with the Suns. Todd is the 31st pick in 2021 and mostly played with the Wizards G League, affiliated in the past 2 seasons with his $1.8 million contract guaranteed for 2023 and 2024. And another thing that came out as well is NBA rumors, according to Bleacher Report, that the Golden State Warriors are in the looks to go get CP3.
I told y'all. There's other destinations possibly that he could go to. But then how is that going to work though?
We might see that's deadly.
Could that work though?
If you want to be honest, it can work because CP3, people might say that he liked to score, but I think CP3 wants to be a pass first guard.
I'm thinking more locker room wise, because like you got Curry, he's kind of leader of the team. You got Jordan Poole, kind of the next guy up. You got Clay, who's kind of, who been here. I mean, I guess it's still up in the air what's going on. You got Wiggins, what I'm saying? You kind of got Rose that, CP just kind of like,
it's a possibility. And you got to think about it too. Clay might be on the way out because of his contract. And damn well he ain't going to try to take no pay cut to stay there.
Yeah, he's not.
He wants the max.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just never know. Things happen in the NBA that we say, oh hell no, it's not going to happen, and then it happens. Basically, it's unpredictable with the NBA at this point.
I mean, I honestly see if it does happen, that CP3 just comes in as that veteran guy to kind of like hold everybody together and just like be that glue, provide direction and everything.
Like, because that might be nice. Because if you got Clay and Curry, then you got Jordan Poole and CP coming in to back him up.
Yep.
And they saying trade Clay for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I did hear. I've been hearing a lot about Jaylen Brown leaving. I've been hearing a lot about him leaving. About him leaving.
I mean, even the Celtics are on the hot seat right now with how long can they keep up with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
That would be very interesting to see. That would be very, very interesting to see. I just wanted to throw those two topics out, to throw them two out there because they was I got that information while we was into our NFL topics. But last topic of the day for us today, y'all, and that is the make or break candidates for 2023 that's coming to a crossroads. So it's a few quarterbacks, it's a few players on this list. So it's 12 of them. We're just gonna go through them. We don't have to get a full breakdown, but I think the number one person on this list that I completely agree with, that's make or break or probably be gone soon, is the Tennessee Titans quarterback, Ryan Tannehill. It is a make or break year for him. You got Malik Willis in the year before draft. You drafted Will Levis in this year's draft.
Yep.
And right now,
is it time for Tannehill to go? Is it time?
And right now at OTAs, they are saying actually Malik Willis has just beat out Levis for the second QB spot. So that's big too. They said
I wouldn't be surprised at that because I'm not a big fan of Will Levis anyway. I don't know why he thought that he was going to go into the green room and be drafted in the first round. As a fan of the SEC and as a Tennessee Volunteer fan, I saw my team whip his ass twice last year. So yeah. Overrated Will Levis. Overrated. The next person that they have, Kirk Cousins. Is it a make or break year for Kirk Cousins here? Even though he's a 4-time Pro Bowler, he threw 69.5% of his passes. Nice. He had 4,547 yards with 29-14 touchdown interception ratio in 2022. And they won the NFC North. Is it a make or break year for him?
Well, I'll let him go first.
I'd say it would be a make or break year for him because, I mean, they had arguably one of the best seasons that I've seen recently by them. But at the same time, like, you got bounced by the Giants in the playoffs, who exceeded a lot of expectations last year. And it was like, y'all should have won. So, yeah, I could easily see it being a make or break season for Kirk Cousins because it's like, dude, you got to bounce back after getting just beaten by a team that shouldn't have even been in the playoffs to begin with last year.
Yeah, in the New York Giants. Agreed.
Yeah.
But I want to throw this little wrench out there, though. Is it really all Kirk Cousins' fault of why they lost in that playoffs? Because if you look at their whole season, the Vikings defense was terrible all year.
Yeah, especially in the game against Indianapolis when they came back from 33 down.
Yeah, so some of it can be on Kirk Cousins, some of it can be on the defense too. But will I say make or break year?
No.
As far as contract wise, yes, because of the money that he might trying to want. But if you look at numbers wise, no.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I have to split it that way because now they're going to want to pay Justin Jefferson next season.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to be able to pay Kirk Cousins or whatever he wants. So it's a make or break year for them to repeat.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say.
With no Aaron Rodgers and the Packers there. It's a make or break year for the team to repeat.
Can you pose the question of if it's a make or break season for the Vikings in general?
Yeah, basically.
Because I've been hearing, I was watching, I forgot what show it was, but I was listening to a podcast, and they were even saying the Vikings have become so content with just making the bare minimum. They was like, they don't even want to win. They just want to get bare minimum. Like, they just want to say that, oh, we went to the playoffs and we won the division. But they say you have to look at the Vikings might be one of the most lucrative teams in the NFL. So it's like, you have to start looking, like you said, it's about the bag. It's about the bag. So that's
and then on top of that, you got Detroit that's on the come up right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a head coach that looks like he's single-handedly keeping Bang in business.
Yeah. Damn.
I mean, you got that crackhead energy. Oh, God.
The next person they got, and I have to agree with this one because he fell off the face of the earth. Michael Thomas. This is a make or break year for you, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got a consistent quarterback. I mean, I love my Derek Carr. I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But now you got to make Derek Carr look good, Michael Thomas. Even though Chris Olave is there, but you got to make Derek Carr look good. So to be so he could be like the Raiders, screw y'all. But I don't want to throw my Raiders into it. But it's a make or break year for Michael Thomas. The last couple of years, you didn't play all last year. You was hurt the year before. It's time for you to come out come back out here and let them know why you still can do what you could do as a top 5 receiver in this league.
I mean,
And show
but
If
why
you all of that.
and show why all that complaining and moaning got you that 100 rating in Madden.
Right.
Yeah, he did have a 99. But it's like, this is the question I have too. When you say make or break, because like we have a player like Michael Thomas, he's been having injuries, like he's not going to come back and ever be that same player. I don't believe. You get what I'm saying? So it's like if he comes back and just plays okay, is that still a break season for him, or do we just have to see some type of production out of him, or see
I think we have to see some type of production. I still think he can still be, top 10 in receiving. I want to say top 5, but he could be top 10 in receiving. He could probably still get you like 70 to 80 catches, probably at the most. Because if you look at his contract, he's on a prove it deal anyway.
Yeah.
Say 1 year, so he's going to have to prove that he can still be productive in the league, just in case next year, if the Saints don't want to re-sign him, if you want to go somewhere else, you got to look at the production he did the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're Michael Thomas, you want to ball out this year. You want to at least show that you still could be in the top 10 in this category.
Mm-hmm.
The next one they have, I agree with this one too, but I'm not a big fan of him, and that's Baker Mayfield. I am not a big fan of him.
Yeah.
Never was and never will be.
I like Bake, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Bake.
I mean, even though
I feel like I got a revenge of what he did to us Thursday night on the last drive against my Raiders, which that was terrible, but yeah.
But I can say it's a make or break for him because it's like you're in a prime situation now. Like I feel like you don't have a sorry offensive line. You got an okay team for you don't have no problems with the coaching staff, none of that going on. So I mean, this is just a prime time for him to step up and show like I'm a starting quarterback in the league. But if he doesn't do that this year,
I think it's a make or break because of how he left Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then he didn't do nothing in Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the Rams, and the only reason why they went to the Rams because it was like an injury thing at the point because all their quarterbacks was down. So Baker was the last minute quarterback. Yep. So I think he gets a full season under his belt with the Buccaneers. They have an okay defense. They still have Mike Evans over there. They got a Cameron Brake that's an underrated tight end. No OJ Howard. I don't know why the hell the Raiders went and got OJ Howard. He's a bust out of Alabama. Another story, another time. But but I think Baker Mayfield is it's a make or break year for him. Because we saw what he can do, but he's been on a decline since he left Cleveland.
He really hasn't been the same since. I mean, ever since they beat the Steelers in the playoffs, and that was about it.
Yeah. Next person they have here is it a make or break year for Derrick Henry?
I wouldn't say a make or break.
I wouldn't say that either. I mean, I think
he is 30. He's getting up there in that running back age at the age of 30.
I honestly wouldn't say it's a make or break for him. It's more of I think in his situation, it's more like, okay, are the Titans going to be able to produce a season with me being the number one running back? Or am I just going to say, hey, I'm kicking rocks and seeing what team really needs me because I'm trying to win? And you've just they're wasting his prime years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with the way that AFC South is. That AFC South, I'm sorry to say I'm going to throw it out there, but the Jacksonville Jaguars is about to run that division. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
They're about to run a division.
Yeah.
So Indianapolis, I understand you got Anthony Richardson. I know in Texas you got CJ Stroud, but Trevor Lawrence and them boys is coming back. And then now Calvin Ridley has been reinstated to play this year with the Christian Kirk. Bruh, I'm with it. Make or break year for Dak Prescott.
That's a tough one. That's tough because he's kind of I don't want to say coming into a new team, but if you get what I'm saying, like with Pollard stepping up, breaking out his shell now. I mean, we seen a lot out of CD, but we could see some more. That's tough. That's a good question.
Oh no, I heard that. I had to jump
That's a
back on here. Like,
that's a good question.
Dak Prescott is definitely on the hot seat. He
Okay.
needs to be on the hot seat.
It's a make or break year for him.
You think
For
okay?
sure, bro. Hey, look. We put Ezekiel Elliott on the hot seat. All right. So now it's Dak Prescott's time. Like, nah, bro. Like he's had weapons. That's the one thing that you can't do. Like, you can't say he hasn't had a decent team put around him. He has. He's had plenty of chances over these last few years. He's had plenty of options to throw to. He's had running backs behind him. He's almost always had a decent or good offensive line. Where's the excuses? I'm tired of the excuses for Dak Prescott. I'm tired of hearing him be called an elite quarterback and nothing happens. No, he made it to the playoffs and then loses the playoff game.
Agreed.
Either give me a new narrative or stop telling me the same old story.
All right, so I'm gonna run it back for you real quick. Just say make or break for these guys here. Ryan Tannehill, make or break.
I mean,
I'm moving on because that's all you had to say.
It's a break.
That's all you had to say. Just silence. Make or break year for Kirk Cousins.
Definitely make or break year for him. There's too much talent coming out in the next 2 drafts for him not to be on the hot seat.
Make or break year for Michael Thomas.
Yes and no. I could see him having a good to mediocre year and still being there. He's probably the only one where his seat is warm, but it ain't hot yet.
That's what I said, Mac. If he comes back and has an okay year, everybody can be like, okay, well, that's enough for him to make it to next year. I feel like, yeah.
So the next 2 for Mac is Baker Mayfield and Derrick Henry. Make or break years for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Derrick Henry, is that who you said?
Yeah, Derrick Henry and
no, Derrick Henry is cooling, bro. He's cooling.
That's what we said, yeah.
Like he cooling, bro. Listen to me. You put him on any team, he can eat. Any team, no matter how bad. You put him on the Panthers, and guess what? He gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one guy I'm not worried about. Henry will definitely eat. Who was the other person you said? Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
If Baker Mayfield don't show up this year and at least contend every game, you know what I'm saying? Like where he is contending in every game. Fuck just the team and the role play. Like he needs to go out there and show off a little bit. He does. He has to.
I think he will too, because he really does have that dog mentality.
Yeah, no, and that's the whole thing. Like Baker Mayfield, I like Baker Mayfield's style of play to a degree. I like it when he makes the smart decisions. When he doesn't, when he doesn't reach. I like Baker Mayfield. But yeah, it's a make or break year, because if he has a crappy year this year, he might never play in the NFL again.
Yeah.
Now,
and that's a reality check a lot of these guys are going to have to start coming to. Like, bro, the Kirk Cousins, the Baker Mayfields, the whoever's starting in LA. It's like, dude, you're getting one option. That's it. You either play good or you're gone.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they did put him on a 1-year deal.
Quarterback. Even as a backup quarterback, I wouldn't be like, yeah, I want Baker Mayfield as my backup quarterback. If you're telling me he couldn't even at least be competitive with the Buccaneers,
he'd be a better backup quarterback than Carson Wentz.
I'm telling you now.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm saying he goes and shits the bed with the Buccaneers. He's going to be on that same list.
Yeah.
So it's going to be where I'd rather pick up a young draft pick and try to coach him up versus trying to get Mayfield and break all his bad habits and hope he can be a shell of his former self. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of teams are starting to do. They're looking 2 years ahead. They're not looking for this year. They're not looking just for next year. They're looking 2, 3, 4 years ahead. That's how you stay competitive.
Yep.
You have to rebuild your team every 3 years. Whether it's a complete rebuild or whether it's a small rebuild, these are things that every team has to go through. And if you're not continually doing that and changing up and moving pieces and trying to systematically make your team better through the draft and everything, all the other process, like it's null and void. So
And
that's why
Mac just went off about Dak Prescott, bro. So what you think about make or break year for him, Dak Prescott?
Ooh, it's definitely make or break for him.
Yeah, it is.
Like I said, he's the one quarterback you can't make an excuse for. You can't say he didn't have weapons. You can't say he didn't have an offensive line.
You can't say he didn't have a defense either.
Yeah,
like he had everything. Listen to me, and I hate to say this, but if you put Lamar Jackson in that position, Lamar Jackson wins multiple playoff games.
Agreed.
you put Danny Dimes in that situation, and the Cowboys doing something.
Yeah,
I mean,
for real, you could throw Derek Carr in that offense for real.
Yeah,
You could throw Derek Carr in that offense, and they would.
I'm not willing to reach that far. I'm not willing to reach that far. I'll put my hand in the cookie jar.
Listen, he said Danny Dimes. That's why I said Derek Carr. He said Danny Dimes.
I mean, I'm a Giants fan, and like, we're on this list. I gotta say that like it's definitely a make or break year for Daniel Jones. Like he got the bag. Yeah, he's had one good productive year with a first-year head coach being Dable, but it's like, okay, dude, you got paid, you had a good season, you led the Giants to the playoffs, you did all this. Let's see what you could really do now with a head coach like Dable, because it was a massacre.
It's time to take it to the next level for Danny Dimes.
Yeah, it was.
He was
just under a massacre of head coaches. When oh my god, we're not going to talk about this.
Yeah, no,
it was a living nightmare.
Yeah, no, and I feel the similar situation. That's what happened with Lamar the first few years in the NFL, where we've had multiple offensive coordinators that want to change up and want to do this and want to do that, and it's like when you think you got a good look at a quarterback, next thing you know they're changing the plays up, and the look of your quarterback isn't what you thought it was going to be because the scheme isn't what you thought it was going to be, and it's just like everybody's trying to change and keep changing. No, man, stick with the basics. Find your basics. Yeah. Do your basics really fucking good, and then you can add on. But I think a lot of teams do too much. They just try to do too damn much, and that's why it's like Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is a good game managing quarterback.
He is.
He's not. I wouldn't put him up there with no Peyton Manning or anything like that. But he's definitely a game managing guy. He's a guy that's going to come in there. What was his name? Matt
Patricia.
No. Seahawks.
The quarterback?
Yeah. Seahawks.
Matt Flynn?
Yes. He reminds me a lot of him. Like where he's a good game managing quarterback. He's not going to do anything that's like absolutely spectacular on a regular basis, but he's going to get you good time. He's going to throw good throws. He's going to make good reads. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of quarterback I see Jones as being. So as long as you give him a good game plan, I feel like he can win a bunch of games.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, in that sense, that's why to me, I wouldn't say Daniel Jones is on the hot seat. I mean, it might be warm. His seat is definitely a little warm, but next year I believe would be his hot seat. Like if he came out and only did some mediocre, I could definitely see him be on the hot seat next year.
Especially with the contract that he got.
But
this year, the contract that he got, he has to put up numbers this year. It has to be this year.
He super exceeded his expectations last year, did he not? I would think.
Yeah, I mean the whole entire Giants team did. Like they were expected to go mid, and they go 9-7-1 and get into the playoffs.
Yeah. No, and that's the whole thing. Like again, if we're running back, the biggest thing is, man, they just need to give Barkley the bag, man. Just give him his bag.
They really do.
What do y'all think about that contract situation?
So Matt, are you convinced that the Giants is going to give him the contract because you've been wanting Barkley to the Ravens this whole time?
I mean, this show. And yes, I want that because I want the Ravens to go pick up a damn wide a running back. I want them to pick up a running back that's going to compete in our division, and you need a good running back to compete in our division. You know what I mean? We're the AFC North, man. Like if you don't have a good running back, you might as well shit the bed because what are you going to do? Pass 40 sometimes in the AFC North? I don't think so, buddy.
I mean, we're seeing it with Joe Cool and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, like even just to let you know, Mac, that even though that J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards was honorable mention for top running back duos in the NFL, they was on that list.
Okay. Like, I mean, again,
So-
you're talking about two guys in the last 3 seasons who how many games have they been healthy together?
And I said that though. I said if they could remain, if they could remain healthy, they could be a top duo in this league. I did state that.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'm not betting on people whose availability has been on the slouch. Like, I'm just being honest with you. I really liked Edwards. I was fucking in love with Edwards. Come on, guy averages 5 yards a fucking carry. That is amazing. But you got to turn around and you got to look at it again. The availability over the last 2-3 seasons. There's a reason why nobody has came and got him.
Let's finish this list, though.
We signed him to a tender. We signed him to a tender contract. Nobody wanted to come get him.
But let's finish this list, though. The next two I have.
As good as they say he is, if somebody wanted Gus Edwards, they could have came and easily overpaid. You know what I mean? Paid for him. We paid him $3 million. $3 million for a season. And nobody could come and challenge that. Nobody wanted to. That's why I'm saying, like, bruh, it's in the NFL now. If you get a rap, that's your rap. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if these guys were so good, there would be people banging on the door to come get them.
So the next two they have on this list here for make or break years is quarterback Russell Wilson and defensive end Chase Young. Make or break years for both of them.
Russell Wilson, absolutely. After the travesty that happened,
especially after that god awful travesty that he had in Denver.
Yeah,
with Daniel Hackett, terrible.
Oh yeah,
but I will say this: like, as far as Young goes, I don't think it's a make or break year with Young. I don't, because I feel like whether he has a good year or a great year, he's not staying in Washington unless they overpay him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Chase Young, you put him in pretty much any other defense, whether it be a 4-3 or a 3-4 defense, you put him in that package with a coordinator who's going to let him put his hand in the dirt and eat.
Yeah,
he's going to have no problem. But with Washington, you're flip-flopping him on partial plays. You're dropping him back into coverage a few times throughout the game. Like, what are you doing? This man is an absolute fucking beast off the edge, and you're playing games with him.
I think the reason why they say that because of his injury status of ever since he tore his ACL, you know, they say, is it a make or break year? Because, you know, when you tear your ACL, that changes the way you play the game, especially in football. So, I mean, I can understand why they say a make or break year, but I think talent wise, it's absolutely not. But for Russell Wilson, you have to make this work with Sean Payton. You have to make this work. The weapons that he has, and he had one of the top defenses in the league. You have to make. There's no excuse for Russell Wilson this season.
We saw Derek Judy was like instantly regretting the fact that Russell Wilson was in Denver. I mean, oh my!
You still got Cortland Sutton, that's an underrated receiver in this league.
How
God? All right, fellas, I'm gonna jump out of here. Peace.
I got a few more for you. I got 3 more for you real quick. I don't know why the hell he's on this list. I don't get it. You got Tua on this list. You got AJ Dillon on this list. And how the fuck you got Josh Jacobs? It's a make or break year.
From my point of view, I can understandably see Tua being on that list because the dude has had more concussions than starts.
Agreed. I can understand it's a make or break year for Tua. I can understand that, but I'm saying for Josh Jacobs, when you talk about the NFL leading rusher, I don't understand how it was a make or break year for him.
I don't think Josh or AJ Dillon, because I mean they were both good players. Tua, of course, me being a Dolphins fan, I don't personally feel like it's make or break, but I can see their perspective because it's like our season is basically riding on his health. Straight up. Our season is riding on his health. So it's
exactly. And the Dolphins are just loaded. And it's like, Tua, you have to stay healthy. If not, you're probably going to end up seeing friggin' Coolio again. The way his hands was looking in Cincinnati.
So I feel like for Tua is a make or break year for him. He has to stay healthy. He has to, get the concussions under control and stuff of that nature. The next one I had was AJ Dillon. Even though he has 750 plus rushing yards and 5 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons, with the Green Bay Packers. I don't understand why it was a make or break year for him when you have an Aaron Jones as your starting running back. That's the part I'm not understanding in that instance.
Maybe they're considering like contracts or other possibilities they can make. Maybe they consider contracts or something when we're talking about that. Because I think
that's what it says here. He says recently said that he's focused on playing free heading into a contract year. Interesting opportunity could await him in 2023 with Aaron Rodgers no longer around, and the Packers might learn more. They might lean more on their running game. So he's definitely going into a contract year.
Oh yeah, and it's understandably so because I mean you got, like you said, two of the best running back duos on the Green Bay Packers right now.
Right, and we just said they was the number one running back duo in the league. According to Bleacher Report. So
they both were ranked top 15, I think, last year. Both of them were ranked the top 15 running backs, I think, at least last year. So,
but I'm still kind of I understand why they want to put Josh Jacobs on here, knowing that the Raiders franchise tagged him, but the man ran for almost 1,700 yards and 12 touchdowns in 2022. Y'all,
he literally carried.
Let's just keep it real. And the guy he led the league in all-purpose yards at the running back position.
Yeah, no, he literally carried.
I understand how it was a make or break year for him, even though with I had concerns about my Raiders offensive line last year. I know they're good running, but they're not great passing. But if Josh Jacobs could get on the field and do what he did last year, this year, I don't understand why he's on this list. We gotta pay Josh Jacobs. If the Raiders don't pay him, I swear to God, I'm going to go ballistic. I'm telling you. And I understand his injuries. I get it. Because he runs hard. He's going to get those. He's going to get nicked up. That's part of the game when you're being a running back. It's just part of the game. But I mean,
hell, they even have the best wide receiver in the league on their team.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said they even have the best wide receiver in the league on their team.
That's what I'm saying. If that's the case, he led. Mind you, Devontae Adams led the league in receiving touchdowns last year.
Yeah,
not receiving. I mean, he had a great receiving yards and receptions, but when it came to touchdowns, Devontae Adams was there. He was there. He was number one in that stat category.
Yeah, so that's why I said
you can say that for Devontae Adams too. Is it me? For real? You know who should be on here? Jimmy Garoppolo should be on here.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
I'll agree to that.
Most definitely, yeah.
Instead of Josh Jacobs, it should be Jimmy Garoppolo. Can Jimmy Garoppolo play a whole 18-game season? That's the question. You can
even put Sam Darnold on there too.
Yeah, you could throw Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold's in a better situation though.
He is. I'm just saying, better situation. Like, even though the weapons Darnold has had, and it's like, dude, all right, you are on a team that is loaded and prepared to win a championship.
And that's how I feel for the Raiders. If you look at our wide receiver corps, is around there with the Hunter Renfrow, and then we got Michael Mayer with the second round pick, which he was a first round tight end. Was the best tight end in the draft. We got a veteran in Austin Hooper, even though the Giants got Waller. I'm just hoping that he stays available. I hope that he just stays available healthy-wise for y'all. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Can I throw two names at you guys real quick? What about Matthew Stafford?
I
wouldn't say make or break. I think after this year would be his final year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he retires after this year. That's why I didn't want to say Matthew Stafford, because I think if he does not live up to his potential, if he could get them back into that contender in that division, I can say I
got two.
I would have said it if he would have came back for 2 more years, but I think he's not going to. I think he's going to retire next season.
Jameis from the Lions and Stingley. Those are the other two I had. Those are the last two I had.
I think you know what I really think underratedly I can say make or break year for, and I'm gonna end it with this. Jared Goff. I think it's a make or break year for him.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Because there's no way that they drafted Hendon Hooker, even though that's my guy from Tennessee.
Hey-o.
I'm telling you now, Jared Goff.
Game though.
I'm telling you, if he could get back to 100%, Jared Goff, you better play your ass off. I'm telling you.
I mean, he brings that kind of tenacity that he brought when Tennessee played Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Lions.
Sky's the limit for Detroit if that's the case.
Mm-hmm. Lions could easily be a dark horse.
Absolutely. Well, I made them my dark horse anyway because I said it on this show multiple times. I think you heard me say it too. That the Detroit Lions going to win a division. I would not be surprised.
What about his receiving core though? That's why I brought up Will. I keep Jameson. He had 30. He got 32 targets. I think his first.
But he was hurt though. Jameson Williams was hurt some of last year. But you know he has that gambling thing, and he's going to miss 6 games.
And that's what I was saying. Everybody was like,
that's kind of hurt too. But I feel like I think they still got St. Brown over there. That's really,
St. Brown. St. Brown's a dog. St. Brown's a dog.
Oh yeah.
So they got who else they got over there? I forgot who they tight end was because I know they gave up Hawkinson in the trade.
They got somebody though. I forgot.
It was somebody that stepped in and played really well. So I think it was like a rookie or something of that nature. But hey, it's a lot of make or break players that you could put on this list. But that was the only 12 that we saw.
Yeah. Straight
but, you could throw a lot here, but that's it for today, y'all. We have a lot of topics we're going to talk about tomorrow. I'm definitely going to have them earlier than expected because I like to watch, certain things and try to, bounce off them a little bit and stuff of that nature. But, episode 42 is in the books of the Darion Hopkins Show, Darion Hopkins Sports Show now, as I can say. But I want to thank my brother from No Mercy Sports coming on to the show. If you want to come on any day, just let me know, bro. I like to have you on, man. It's been fun having you on here.
I mean, I'm gonna be busy for another day or two, getting ready to go on vacation. But I will definitely hit you up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Let you know when I'm available, and we can do this again, man.
Awesome. But let everybody know, whoever's listening or watching, where they could find you at.
So if you want to find me, it's real simple, man. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and everywhere available.
All at No Mercy Sports, ladies and gentlemen. All at No Mercy Sports. But thank you to Mac for coming in here, even though that he always comes in here when he's at work. Bug is finally having you back on a consistent basis. It's really been good. Now we gotta get Ed back up here on a consistent basis.
Tomorrow I'm locked in. Once I get back on my computer and I can actually have my stuff all together and my notes on the side.
We're not gonna do this James Harden topic.
I need my James Harden segment. I need my James Harden segment. I need it.
We're not listen. See, you're gonna see. I was very calm today. You want me to get back in my bag how I got with Edward? No, I don't want to get like that.
They need one show. They need one show like that. They
called me. Listen, quick story. I met Stephen A. Smith in Philadelphia and I got his book signing. I told him that a lot of people call me Stephen A. Smith 2.0 when I get in that mode. I don't want to get like that. I don't. I was calm today. It was a great debate show. It was great talking sports. But make sure y'all follow us on all social medias: YouTube at DHopkins Show, Instagram, Twitter at DHopkins Show. Same thing for podcasts for Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart Music, iHeart Radio, all at the Darion Hopkins Show. Make sure y'all give us a listen there. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another show of the Darion Hopkins Show. Same time, same place, Monday through Friday. And we had a great show, man. And I cannot wait for this to come out. The audio version of it and everything of that nature is going to be fun. See y'all in the next live stream or in the next video. Peace out.